Good morning from Australia and New Zealand. Welcome to our On Passive Aussie Girls and a Kiwi Guy presentation. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time because time is so worthy of choosing whatever you wish to do within that time. And you chose to be with us today, so we really appreciate that. We also say good afternoon to those joining us in their afternoon, and also good evening to those joining us from the US. We have a couple of Leadership Council with us this evening and this morning, and I'd like to welcome Chris Johnson and also Marty DeGamo. I'm not quite sure if there's anybody else there, but certainly if they pop on, we'll be introducing you after the presentation. So I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country first. We would like to acknowledge the land in which we are meeting on today and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We would like to thank them for the knowledge that they share with us to look after the land and each other. So I'd like to introduce our presenter today, which is my dear friend Yvonne Mackett from Perth in Western Australia. Yvonne emigrated to Australia from the UK in 1992 with 4 young children. She loved Australia even before she landed. Yvonne has worked for herself for the past 30 years. She and a business partner also established a clothing boutique, and 10 years later on her own, established a hair and beauty salon. For the past 29 years, Yvonne has also been in MLM companies. She loved the products, as most of us all do, but she found that the marketing was not her forte. So when she heard about On Passive, she joined right away. Yvonne has been here in Australia for almost 30 years, long enough for us to now call her an Aussie girl. Yvonne and I met earlier this year in On Passive and became very close friends. I am very blessed and grateful to call her a friend, and I now will hand over to Yvonne to do the presentation. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Narelle. Thank you very much. And it's so lovely to have met you and for what we're doing together. And we really do appreciate everything that you do for On Passive and Aussie Girls and a Kiwi Guy. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Really do appreciate you taking this time to listen to a presentation on Passive, how this will change your lives and the lives of your families and the people around the world. If you're joining new today as a guest, please just have faith in whoever brought you here today or shared this with you, and trust them. Ask them for their invite link and get in, because they're sharing this with you because they really do care about you becoming a founder. So what you're going to hear today in this webinar, in this presentation, is what On Passive is, a little bit about our CEO, what the On Passive products are, and why these products are needed today, and the opportunity currently available, and what the benefits are. It's an opportunity you're unlikely to come across again in your lifetime. The company is offering founding positions at a very affordable price. Why? Because our CEO, Ash, cares about people. This is an IT company. It's a startup company, and it's getting very, very close to closing their founding positions. It's a global company, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company. And if you join us today as a founder, before we close the positions, you will still be in the top 1% of the company when we launch to the world. How awesome is that? Have you ever been offered an opportunity like that? Because I hadn't, and I jumped straight in. We are growing stronger and starting stronger than any IT company that has ever started before us. So what exactly is On Passive? It is a very real business. It's a global company, and it is valued at over $5.5 billion. It's an information technology company with 50 portfolios of digital products and tools. They're far superior than what's out there, and they're all easily accessible, all under one umbrella, and all run by artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. It's an online marketing business solution. The company has brick and mortar assets, and it has 2 buildings. Here we have our executive office in Florida, where our CEO, Ash Mufareh, works from, and a very huge 6-story building in Hyderabad, classed as high-tech city in the Silicon Valley of India, where you'll find all the top name companies such as Google, Microsoft, and many of the mainstream businesses. Also, where you'll find the best IT experts, and India is known to have the best IT skills. OnPassive have the best software engineers, programmers, media experts, marketers, and IT specialists of all kinds. Our staff have come from companies such as JP Morgan, Apple, Google, and all the big brand names. They're here for us. We have approximately 700 staff and expect to have 1,000 soon as we launch, or soon after. OnPassive will definitely be a household name for sure. So who is the brains behind OnPassive? Well, here he is, our CEO, Ash Mufarah. He is a man with a vision for the future. He's a selfless man. He really does care about humanity. He is also a family man with a very supportive, beautiful wife and family and 2 young boys. His hobbies are fishing, hiking, and he has a keen interest in NASA. He also attended the American Intercontinental University for a master's degree in information technology and e-commerce at MIT, and he also completed the Harvard Online Business Creation Systems. Now, while Ash did his studies, he also researched models like Walmart, Google, Twitter, Microsoft, Amazon, and many more. Ash also, by being in the industry and knowing the industry very well, with his 20 years experience and the research he had done, it showed that 3% of people earn only, leaving the 97% to struggle. And he wanted to change that around, and he wanted to help so many people. The 320 million online businesses that failed in this industry, he thought was unfair, and he actually wanted to build a platform that was going to help everybody and be fair. So he wanted to correct the corruption. He also understood how the internet has a potential to change the world and change poverty into prosperity. There are 97% of online businesses that fail because they didn't know how to market, recruit, or sell. Ash was looking to find a fair business model, but he couldn't. So he decided the only way to create was to build one. With his team in Hyderabad and the best IT professionals, they built OnPassive from scratch. So this is when the company OnPassive was created. It started to build in 2018, but it has got a lot bigger than Ash Mufarah had originally anticipated. OnPassive has today closing in on 1 million founders that actually share OnPassive's vision, or Ash Mufarah's vision, and support him on this very exciting journey. Ash has given every person that joins an opportunity to make a change in their future and their family's future and the lives of others. That's why today OnPassive is stronger than any IT company that has ever started before them. This is why we'll be a unicorn company when launched to the world. And you know how big Google is? Well, that took 6 years. They took 6 years to become a unicorn status. So this shows how big we're talking. So why OnPassive? Well, with OnPassive's products, you don't have to do any recruiting. You don't have to convert leads. They guarantee the traffic, which is quality targeted traffic to your website. It's all self-funding. So that's where you pay once out of pocket for your subscription. And then from there on, it will be self-funding. So this means it's all done for you 100% hands-free, and you do not need to lift a finger. It works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It never takes a day off. It never gets sick. It has every imaginable tool that you need for your success, for your business. And it's all easy accessible in one place and on one interface. It's a plug and play system. So anybody can use this. There is no copycat or recycled tech, and you won't find a better price anywhere on the globe. So here we have 20 of the 50 digital online products. I'll go through just 3 of them, so you can check them all out on onpassive.com. So I do suggest you go there and check them out. There's a short video of each of them, and it's well worth doing. The platforms are all standalone companies under one roof, all owned by OnPassive and all embedded with AI technology throughout. We have Academy, which is a one-of-a-kind application for learners of any age, with many, many more benefits than what's out there. We have facial distraction. So when teachers are teaching, they will know when the pupil or pupils are not paying attention. If you have a course or a class that you would like to teach, you can actually put that on this platform and it will go out to the world and it can be translated into 57 different languages. You put it on the platform once, you get paid 100% of the fees that you charge, and this will go straight into your wallet in your currency of your choice in real time as soon as someone subscribes to your course. We also have OConnect. OConnect is like a Zoom that we're on now, but again, with many more benefits. You'll be able to use this for video conferencing. So if you've got a business, a global business, you won't need to travel. You can just bring them all onto this platform. And you can have unlimited people. So this is great for MLM as well. You can bring all your workers or all your workers from across the globe, and you can bring them together on this great platform. It also is great for, like I say, multi-level marketers, because it doesn't limit you to how many people you can invite or the language. There would be no language barrier. And it's far cheaper than any other platform out there. And it has so many more benefits. We also have ONET, it's our social media platform. This helps you connect with your friends and family and discover new friends, a bit like Facebook. But ONET will not sell your data and it won't put you in Facebook jail. It's also a very safe platform to be, and we are all looking forward to using ONET as it is a revolutionary and secure networking platform. We also have OBLESS. OBLESS is at the forefront of on Passive. It's a crowdfunding platform where you can raise money for any cause or charity like schools or sports, fundraisers, etc. This platform will help humanity in such a big way, as we will have 1 million people at launch who will be able to see the advertised cause, and also the founders are able to donate from their earnings from their own wallet in the back office. So I usually bring Narelle on to talk, but I think Narelle's got quite a bit to say afterwards. So I'd like to do that at the end. So thank you, Narelle. She's got to talk about her niece Mimi, because this is awesome. You can also use the OBLESS platform, and On Passive will give 100% to your cause or charity. Many other platforms take between 15 and 30% for advertising and admin, etc. So the extra cash that OBLESS will allow you to keep will make a big difference in someone's life, in someone's club or charity. So it is predicted by the end of 2021, the market share will be $114 billion. It's proven scientifically in our DNA that the power of giving is 10 times more rewarding and fulfilling than receiving and taking. A great quote from Ashma Farah, our CEO. Now, On Passive is the world's greatest modern technology marketing system solution, and it is going to be a global leader. We have On Passive's business model here. We have 50 online tools powered by AI. We have highly targeted traffic that generates a stream of customers on autopilot. It's a reduced cost because there's only one supplier, which will save you money and time. It's a simplified process with one email and one password, which will generate a passive income every day of the year. So why do we need these platforms? Well, if you compare today's lists, the current model is based on competition and conflict. 97% of scams, it all ends up costing a lot of money each month. Every month it ends up more because you want to upgrade, etc. It requires you to sell, it requires you to recruit. The tools that you need, you have to get and buy separately. So this will take up your precious time, and time is money in business. There's no guarantees of the marketing. There's no guarantees of income. The marketers are against each other, and the compensation is based on your own efforts. Now, with today's new model that will disrupt the online world for the better is On Passive's new model, and it's based on mutual benefit. It's a real business, it's real products, and it is self-funding. So it pays you to use it. The marketer does not have to recruit or sell The marketer, it has every tool that you need for your success. It's all included in one place, and all the tools are included at one low price. It has 100% money back guaranteed as written in your NDA, so you can't lose. And the marketers only compete with themselves. And this has a revolutionary breakthrough compensation plan that has been patented for OnPassive. So why OnPassive? Well, everybody will be using OnPassive in the very near future, whether they come to OnPassive for the money, the tools, or other benefits like communication or connections. They will all have a reason to use OnPassive's platforms. So, time to completely run your whole business on autopilot. Autopilot any business opportunity whatsoever. Everything is 100% done for you. Your advertising's all done, your leads, your marketing, your recruiting, and your team building. All done by AI, artificial intelligence, all working for you. Yes, it will automate your existing business and provide a massive income opportunity by simply using this breakthrough platform. So the benefits of becoming a founder: you'll earn residual income for life. You'll have targeted traffic to your website given to you by the company, and OnPassive will build your business and team for you automatically. You will be able to be part of the beta testing and inner circle decision making. And you'll only have to pay one time for your subscription of the use of 50 digital products and tools, and the company will go to work for you and market for you. And then your subscriptions will be paid out of the profits. You will benefit from massive marketing campaigns, and you will be able to access every tool that you will ever need for your business. And it is all 100% hands-free. So how much will this cost you? Well, to become a founder of a multi-billion-dollar company, it will only cost you $97 US. That's about 136 Australian and 143 New Zealand dollars. And once we launch, we will all become subscribers to the online platforms and tools, and we will have to pay an out-of-pocket one-time fee when we launch of $250 US. Now, you may have multiple accounts. If you'd like to gift it to a family, you can, as long as you have different emails. It can be the same name, same phone number, but as long as you have different emails, you can have as many as you want, as long as you can afford the first month's subscription, because that's all you'll have to pay for life. Now, if someone is offering you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes and learn about it later. A great quote from Richard Branson. So OnPassive, if you become a founder today and have a business, whether it's brick and mortar or an online business, OnPassive will force you to be successful. But if you do not have a business, you can still become a founder of a multi-billion-dollar company. And all you need to do is get back to the person who invited you and ask them for their invite link, and just get in before it is too late and become a founder and be in the top 1% of the company and change your family's future. You will be so happy you did. We have hit, and we're well over the 1 million mark. So we are a very strong and very big company that will launch soon with a very, very strong foundation. So thank you so much for taking time out and listen to this short webinar presentation. I'm Yvonne Mackett from Perth on behalf of the OnPassive Aussie Girls and a Kiwi Guy. Thank you from Narelle and Kenton and myself for joining us. And I'd like to hand you back to Narelle, because Narelle has a great story to tell about her great niece, Mimi. And I'll pass it over to you, Narelle, and then we'll go into a Q&A. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Yvonne, and thank you everyone for listening in. Wonderful presentation, Yvonne. It's so colourful, amazing. You really give complete information, so that there's probably not a lot of questions, but we will go into a Q&A. But I do want to share something special with you all today. As some know and some may not, I have fundraised for my great niece Mimi before. One of my reasons to come into on passive, particularly the main reason, was that I could see how it could help my great niece Mimi and help her with the fundraising for the treatments that she needs. See, Mimi was born with cerebral palsy, and Mimi turned 9 back in July. Mimi is unable to walk, and the treatments needed to help her little body to reprogram and help her muscles to get stronger to be able to walk cost between $8,000 to $10,000 every time her parents take her away to Sydney in Australia to a American company called Napa. Now that is a lot of expense, $8,000 to $10,000, and that's only for a 3-week block. That's accommodation and airfares on top of that. She has to take people with her, whether it's her husband or her adult children. So it's not just one person going away with a child. Now, as I said, I've fundraised for Mimi before, and her parents fundraise once a year. They have once a year fundraising auction dinner, which was on Saturday night here in Australia. My son and I have traveled down from where we live because we're very, very supportive family. I have 5 sisters, and we all like to help in any way we can. Now, it's such a blessing to be able to be part of a community. I always say, in families, it's like a tribe. You're raised by your tribe and raised by your community and those around you. Renee and Rodney, the parents of Mimi, are very well known in Bundaberg because Rodney is a school teacher in a private Christian school. Now, every year they have to, it's not just preparing a week before, it's preparing a year before as they build up and they go and people donate, and they talk to people to try and sponsor them to donate to this once a year function. So Saturday night was huge. There was about 160 people. They have a dinner, 2-course dinner, which is absolutely amazing. It's right on the river. And this year, and I'd like you to all applaud this, because we raised $33,000 towards Mimi's treatments. I get quite emotional because it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Now, I help towards that by fundraising on Facebook sometimes, or GoFundMe, and we understand that people are really feeling it. The last 2 years have not been easy, where people have lost their jobs, people have lost their businesses, but it continues where people love and support each other. On passive, that's got to be the biggest thing that I've felt since joining, is the love and consideration and the support for each other. And we know that once Bless on passive launches and bless that platform, how are we going to help Mimi? How much more can I help Mimi? How much more are you guys going to be able to help those in your community who, suffer with either disabilities or have lost their jobs, who are crying out for help? We're trying to get this out here to Australia and New Zealand. It's one of those things, I suppose, with Aussies, that we've always been what we call the free country, and a very lucky country here in Australia. But I truly believe, and over the last few weeks, I've come to the conclusion that those who are meant to be in will be here. Because it's not that those who don't have a heart won't be here. It's just those who really see the vision of our CEO, Mr. Ash Mafara. So I want to thank you all, those who supported, those who donated towards Mimi's treatments, and also just the fact that her parents have spent so much time. Some of her machines cost $190 an hour. Some of those treatments they want to go more to, but the costs are restricting them. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, please pop over. I have put a short video of Mimi up there so that you can see her face and see she inspires me daily. Her smile, her ability, when other children are off having holidays from school, Mimi's off having treatment. So thank you once again for allowing me to share that with you today. Thank you, Yvonne. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, please raise your hand and we will open up the the platform here so that anyone who would like to speak. So I'd like to get Chris and Marty on at some stage. Yeah, we've still got some people popping in, so different times all over the world. Let's just, pop over to Karen. Hello, Karen. How are you? If you could just let us know where you're coming in from, and yeah, if you have a question or something you'd like to share with us today, that would be lovely.
I'm really pleased to be here, because I've been kind of feeling alone and in the dark, because I haven't got, I haven't been able to kind of connect, but I'm with it since almost a year now. So I'm finally slowly sorting through what it actually is all about. And today was really, really helpful, actually. I joined because I instinctively liked the idea of it, to help, to be one and to help everyone, and to share everything. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm from originally from Germany, but I live in beautiful town of Maleny now, which is about an hour north of Brisbane.
Beautiful. Yes, I know Maleny.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah, so I've got a question. I've joined with 2 accounts under my name, because I've been trying very hard, but I haven't been able to recruit anyone whatsoever. So I'll try more, but just the way it is. Maybe I'm not a good convincer, but I think this concept should convince everyone. I don't understand why people don't jump for it, but anyway, I haven't been able to. But I've got two accounts with 2 emails, and I just got an extra one from Marty, I think.
Yeah.
And I can't log into that one, but I'll tweak it. I'll work on that. I just wonder whether I have to actually access my accounts, whether I have to log in separately into each account, or whether that can be or will be consolidated under my identity, or is it different emails, and I have to log in.
From what I know, Karen, and I will get Marty on, but from what I know, each account is its individual account. So that's why you have an individual email, so that you can log into those accounts. Now, if you're having problems logging into the one that Marty, that you got signed over from Marty, then you can contact Marty. His email address will be in the back office under Leadership Council. But there will be a process there. There will only be something missing, very slightly.
Yeah, I'll tweak it again. I just tried today, and it just I think it's just a hiccup. So we just if we have 3, we sign in 3 different times.
That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's okay, and welcome, and thank you for joining us today, because yes, sometimes when you join such a big company, and here in Australia in particularly, and say New Zealand, we can feel a little bit isolated, because a lot of the time zones are different. We're not always up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to catch their webinars. So that's why Yvonne and I and Kenton stepped out and to do more. There is Team Australia on Passive Australia as well. They do Wednesday night, and we do Monday mornings and Thursday nights now as well, just so that we're more open to more people coming on at different times of the day. Now, I just want to take it back to something you said. You said about, you're finding it hard, you're not perhaps good at recruiting. Well, guess what? If you know about On Passive, you don't actually have to. You don't have to recruit and sell. All we're doing is sharing. And when we share, it's because we're passionate about something that we love. The more you get to know about On Passive, the more passionate you become, because you hear about how this is going to help, what lives it's going to change, the vision handed down from Ash Mafara, our CEO, and you start to get excited and you start to see more. And if you're plugging into webinars or going to lives and things like that, you really start to see that everybody else has seen that vision also. So don't worry if you've got 3 that you have signed, or you've got 3 accounts, whatever, or founder positions. It's not going to matter. Okay, it's just that if people have and they can't get absolutely anybody, you've signed up obviously to perhaps help foundations or your family or your relatives or friends or something like that with those other accounts. But if you don't, it just means that the receiving will come take a little bit longer. That's it. Ash made sure that this was available to everybody. So to be passive or active. Now, to be active is just sharing what you know and sharing the love of On Passive and what it can do for them. If they don't see that same vision, then it's on them, because they will. They will see On Passive everywhere. So I hope that you've had your questions answered today, and please feel free at any time if you have any concerns to contact Yvonne or myself or anyone in Leadership Council. But we are here in Australia on your time zone. So make sure that you're signing into your back office and also your emails. People forget that you might be signing into your back office, but are you signing into those emails as well to make sure that you're receiving the emails? That is really important. So thank you, Karen.
Well, thank you very much, Nora.
And Melania is beautiful. I'm a Queensland girl, born and bred, so I know it well. Okay, so we might just bring Marty on to have something, and then we'll come back to any questions that come forward. Just remember to raise your hands and we'll come to you. So Marty, if you'd like to have a few words, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Great job on raising money for your niece, correct? Well,
my great niece. So yeah,
when things launch, you should have no problem raising money. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's one thing nice about On Passive. I see everybody. I see Viola's here. She had a great story last night. Key, what's up? Barrington, hello everyone. My brother Cedric's here. Nice. Yeah, with the accounts you were talking about, Karen, a lot of times if you copy and paste, you copy a little longer than you should instead of the actual digits. And if you go one space farther, it's a totally different password. Or if you go one space before, same thing. And usually that's what it is. But keep in mind, the last 4 days, the site's been a mess, up and down and up and down and up. It's stable now. What had happened was normally we have 1,500, 2,000 people join a day. There's been days that 8,000 people were joining, right? I think it's happening now. It's absolutely exploding. At the same time, the tech team in India are moving data from that site over to OFounders so they can launch OFounders probably next week. So all that at the same time it's happening, because I know Ash was talking about, well, when we get to 1 million, yeah, we're there. I mean, it happened even faster than he thought, I'm sure. And they did start their trip. He texted me earlier. He said he'll text later. So I don't know when he got out, but he's got 2 little boys, so it'll be interesting. I wish I had a camera inside that car, but we'll find out. We'll probably get the details. And Barrington, what part of New Jersey are you from? Always wanted to know.
Actually, I'm around the corner from you. Where I'm working now is in Pemberton.
Oh, dang, man. I could throw a rock and hit you from there, man.
Exactly.
Cedric, you're not that far. Philly's not that far. Anyway, yeah, any questions anybody have, if I can answer, I will. But good job here. And it will grow. And don't worry about building. Listen, I can build. I've marketed for years and years and years, and I had trouble. Why? Because the people I brought in didn't know how to market. That's why I'm here. On Passive has settled all that for everyone. Everybody's worried about their 3, There'll be days that the company brings in 250,000 customers a day. Keep that in mind. A day. 4 days we'll have 1 million. Just keep that in mind. That's where we're heading to. Now, it's not going to happen in one day. But if you look now, what's going on just from a couple words being said, right? That's all Ash did. Train's moving. He said a couple dates, and we've increased 5-fold. It's people on the fence, people on the, and people say, well, it's just people buying positions. No, it's not. You don't go up in number. Remember, the number we have is pending and paid. That number goes up, that means pending and paid both went up. So we are getting a huge influx of people. And if you hear the word soft launch or whatever we're going to call it, it's going to happen again. And then the main launch, lights out. Get a life preserver on or you're going to drown. But everybody will do fine. And what I love about the business, every time that we market in the past, myself, Mike, and Dan, it only benefited myself, Mike, and Dan. Now we've created overflow. I forgot what we had figured, but something between thousands of people will get 3. That's nice. That means their next month they don't have to pay. And some of you will wake up in the morning, depending on what leg you wind up in, you could have hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands. You don't know. Just remember that. You don't know. You don't know where you're at in this crazy maze, but it doesn't matter. When that machine gets turned on, I think you will all be surprised what happens. As long as everybody does the right thing. And remember, after it launches, that's when the fun begins, because you can have people go over to ONET for free. How? Start a conversation with somebody, because people are nosy. Hey, do you like that new site? What about it? Blah, 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 blah. People are watching, they're reading, and then they'll jump in and go, what's it about? Give them your info. They go, they put an email in, and they're locked to you for the rest of their life. So if they buy something a year from now, 10 years from now, they're part of your team. That's where I'm looking forward to now, is building after this thing launches. Not for the money. I mean, I don't care that much for money. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to think about it. And if I have enough, I don't have to think about it. So that's what I want. And then I want to see everybody like you with your great niece and Papua New Guinea. I heard all the stories there. Viola's story was amazing. How hard these people, to do one little task, they have to work 10 times harder than everybody else. That's why when somebody cries to me in the US, I'll say, watch Papua New Guinea, then come back and we'll talk, right? You could go whine on somebody else's shoulder. Anyway, I know I talked 5 minutes longer than I should have, but if anybody has any questions, I'm here.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always good to hear from you, and you're always you always have so much more information and share it from your heart, and we really appreciate that. I see Key has his hand up, so I think we'll go to you, Key. It doesn't look we've got anybody else at this present time, so we'll pop over to you, Key. Thank you.
Thanks, Narelle. First, I guess I need to ask, is this a guest webinar or founders only?
It is a guest webinar.
Okay, I don't know if Marty can answer this question then, but I'll ask anyway, and just give me a thumbs up or no if you can't.
Sure.
You can't answer it. We have surpassed the magic number. We all know what the magic number was. And do we have an inkling of when we're going to go from an ascending number to a name change and a descending number, if you know what I'm asking? I don't know if I can ask that here or not, but
no, you can, because anybody's a guest wouldn't know what you just said, and that's okay. And my answer will be, only you guys will understand it, is there probably is, and that's probably going to happen really, really soon. I don't know when. But let's keep in mind, even the million are not a million paid customers. So right. we have a leeway to get to that number, once they do the flushing out of pending. So it's soon, very soon, Key. I think it happened faster than the company even thought it would, like I said.
I think so. I think we talked about it. I think we're seeing what we all refer to as FOMO. Fear of missing out.
It's exactly what it is. But I think very soon, Kate. And anything I'll hear, I'll tell people. I'll tell people.
Yeah.
Privately. But no, because he had said, I actually talked with him about hitting the million, and there was a debate: do you stop? Do you change? Do you raise the price? I just want to tell people watching this as a guest, or if you see it in the video, if you're watching this, sign up now. Because it's gonna disappear. The door is closing, I'm telling you right now. And while it's closing, the price is probably going to go up. I don't know these 100%, but I know that giant door is closing. If you don't make it, it's not like let me in, let me in. You'll never get in. You'll never be a founder. And everybody says, oh, what's the difference? Big difference. You could be a founder, be a founder. Stop messing around. It's 97 bucks. It's not the end of the world. Get in. You got to get in. Lock in your spot. I can't emphasize that enough. But the day's going to come. You're right. We don't need any warning. We're already at 1 million. He could be driving up the East Coast and radio in, shut it down, or raise the price 200 or whatever he wants to do. He's the CEO. But you know we're getting serious when he hires a $3 million CEO for one division. One division. This guy makes $1 million more a year than the CEO of Google, which is $2 million. This is one serious thing going on. Do you think Ash had in his mind 2 years ago, I'm going to be hiring one man for $3 million a year? Absolutely not. But that's how big we are. And he's looking at it serious. And there'll be buildings in many countries, hundreds. This is set up to be so big, bigger than anything you can imagine. Think Apple times 10. It's a multi-trillion-dollar company. I believe that. Maybe not yet. And we're at what? The very ground floor. It's pretty cool. And the ground floor can go for a year. There'll be resellers that come in under you that are millionaires.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about exactly where we are right now ever since I've been in for 1.5 years. As
Right.
when we hit this point, and we're at that point now. So yeah, if you're just hearing about On Passive now, take Marty's suggestion wisely and get in. I'd get in before this webinar ended.
Yeah.
And you remember what Ash said? He said this for 2 years. I didn't get it in the beginning because my brain wasn't there. And trying to match your brain with Frankenstein's not easy, right? So he said, one day we'll become the hunted. I never could put that together. You know what that means? I'll tell you. Facebook has 2 billion people. Well, they have 2 billion accounts. So let's say that a lot of people have 2. So let's say it's 1 billion, even 1 billion. When you hit a certain number of people that are part of you, you become the hunted. Why? When's the last time you've seen advertisement for Facebook? 0. Facebook's where you go to advertise. Same thing's going to happen on Passive. On Passive will be the place where Nike, Coca-Cola, big companies will come to advertise. And they're going to ask you, Narelle, is it okay if we put a little ad on the bottom of your 50,000 pages? Yeah, okay, that's right. You just got an increase in pay at mucho grande. I don't even know if that's a word, but a lot. But you know, it's a big deal. It drives me insane thinking about it because it's so much bigger than even while you're thinking. I was talking to Ash one time, I'm running to see like I am now. He goes, you're pretty good, Marty. You know about 10%. So I hung up on him. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't hang up on him. But I realized what he was saying. It's just bigger than we think. We haven't even got into products we don't know yet. There's products we do not know about. He said a couple of them in the last few months that are maybe bigger than On Passive itself.
That's incredible, Marty. And you know what? I think people, if there's any guests here tonight, have to remember that you weren't asked to be a founder in Google or Facebook or Microsoft. Remember, I would honestly say there's probably, 90% of people that go, gee, I wished I'd bought Flamin or I got a foundership in those companies. Look at them now, multi-billion, if not multi-trillion-dollar companies. Some of those companies are making millions, if not billions in a day. You know what I mean? So it's just incredible. You have the opportunity right now to become a founder. And yes, it's $97 US, which equates to about 136 Australian dollars and about 143 New Zealand dollars. All you need to do, as Marty said, is get in. This is it. It is closing off. We are not going to be taking founders or selling any founder positions after hard launch. It will or may go up after we go into a semi-soft launch, So why not get in now and spend that money? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And yes, you may have heard that before, but this is not a bright, shiny object. This is the bright, shiny object, the once in a lifetime. The only opportunity you need to take is right here, right now. So thank you, Marty, for sharing that. I see Cedric has his hands up. Yvonne, is there any questions in the chat box before I go over to Cedric? You're on mute, darling.
No, all good.
Thank you.
Cedric, come on down.
Yes, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. It's a pleasure to be on these Hollywood Squares. I swear, it's a pleasure knowing everyone. It's like Marty Barrington. Y'all are right in Jersey, another state, but yet so close. Cynthia. We went to the same elementary school, the same junior high school. We went to the same high school. Now, I ain't know her all those times. I went to school with her. I was in class with her sister though. But I'm just saying all this to say, it's people right in my neighborhood. It's a pleasure knowing everyone. 1 million people. Wow. I'm just so glad and blessed to be in this. Key, Fred. I'll be thanking him the rest of my days. Came in with Fred, the Landswager, and so grateful. I got in when I did. But it's just a pleasure being here. For the new people, look, if you look up no brainer in the dictionary, you're gonna find on passer. I say it all the time. Like my grandmother say, it still stands true to this day. Before I tell you something wrong, I won't tell you nothing at all. Just get in. 1 million people. You can't see this now. Well, you ain't. I'm elated about this. You're just not a founder. You can't go wrong. I mean, we'd be able to, in my opinion, right the wrong on a lot of stuff. Be able to help so many people. Chris, that post you did in on your Facebook, that's great. I don't know how you got that video, but that's true. That's a poor area in the city, and I can't wait to help that part of the town out and plenty more. I can't wait to get into that. So that's a real eyesore and a lot of problems right there in that area. So that was great on your part in getting that up. But I just wanted to say hi to everyone. It's a blessing to be a part of On Passive. I'm so in it to win it. Peace and blessing, everyone.
Cedric, I'm gonna come to Philly and have a cheesesteak with you, and we can reminisce and talk about Fred. If y'all
Yes,
don't
sir.
know who we're talking about, Fred was my sponsor, and I think Cedric's too. Great guy, and we lost him unexpectedly, and I miss him. I chatted with him a lot, but thanks for bringing him up, Cedric.
Yeah, speaking of Fred, he was the first one. He the one told me about the Australia webinar one night. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was about to go to bed. He called, he texted me and he said, because he always called me worldwide, because I always go on these webinars. And he said, okay. And I said, no, okay. I opened up my computer again and turned it back on. And that's when I went to your webinar, Norel. So it was because of Fred. He told me about it. So I always think about that when I go to Australia.
I saw somebody else just mention his name just recently, and it's something that they said that the legacy that he left behind, the man that he was, and
Yes.
even though he won't be able to share with us today, I'm sure that he's with each and every one of those who he touched their hearts, and that's what's really important, is that he's never forgotten, that he's continually spoken about. So thank you, Cedric, for sharing that, and also Key. Our hearts go out to those who are still, dealing with the loss of such a great man. So Tina, thank you for being here today. Tina comes in from Singapore. Before I open up to you, Tina, I just want to share with people that myself, Yvonne, and Kenton from New Zealand, and we have a Facebook page and like page that we share with people. We are here to help you. If you have people who are interested and you don't know how to explain on Passive 21, please allow them to come along, invite them to our presentation webinars, because this is where they will learn more. This is where they can get any questions answered. To me, I always say, don't walk away from something until you have all your questions answered, and don't say no to something you know nothing about, because people are so quick to say no because they think they're going to get burned, or they think it's just something that they know. But presumptions or assumptions don't work. You have to have the full information before you can make that decision. So I just want to let you know that On Passive, Aussie Girls and a Kiwi Guy is a Facebook like page. Please pop over there. We will keep you updated as to any more upcoming webinars. Like I said, we have Mondays and Thursday evenings. That's Sunday night in the US and very early Thursday mornings. But that's okay, because we're just there and we're just here for all of those. And even if you're a founder and you know people in Australia and New Zealand, and you know the time, it doesn't sort of fit for them to pop on to the US ones, then let them know that we're here and we can help them for you. So thank you, Tina. I'll get you to open up. Your haircut looks amazing. You look amazing. I love what you do. Thank you for being here. And open up your mic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Narelle. Thank you, everyone, for helping me, letting me be here and speak up. I really would like to just give some flag up to the people that really matters to me at the moment, besides Narelle and Yvonne, such great friends from Aussie land. I lived in Perth for some time, so I love Perth, and I hope to retire there soon. Yvonne, I'll be with you. And I would like to actually acknowledge Chris Johnson, Captain Chris Johnson here, from an ex-military man and with a heart, the biggest heart that I know. I would like to just share that how blessed I am to be able to bless others. I'm still in full-time work now after my retirement from the service. And I'm being blessed that way so that I can bless others, because my tiny little team in Singapore are made up of people who are blessed to bless others. And the people that I've gifted on passive, they are the ones who received my blessings when I reach out to them, or when they reach out to me as well. And I am an early adopter of the internet since the mid 1990s. And I've grown to see the evolution of the internet from the so very basic billboards, bulletins, and onto ICQ, went on to, and now we have WhatsApp and everything. So the thing is that Ash Mufara, he is a visionary. He leads from the future, as I put inside the chat. He knows what's going on, and with Professor Maku's video that I put up on Passive Nation and on my personal website as well in Facebook. This is where Ash is looking at, and he's already got not just a couple, but many of those that is being said in that video that will come, that will be manifested in the near future. He leads from the future. He knows what's going on. The internet is now going on to not just IoT, Internet of Things, is going into the fusion because of AI and machine learning. So there'll be a time where, as it is being said, that organs are being a replacement. And at this very moment, the medical field is using AI technology and machine learning technology to actually tweak our genomes, our DNA, for those who are in dire medical disease, to tweak them so that they don't have the disabilities that will be in onset for them. So I am so grateful to be on Passive, and I'm sharing this with you. It's a no-brainer, not just because of the money, but really to uplift people who needs them. Thank you for your time. I'm done speaking. Oh, just a little bit thing. Do you know about the net worth of Passive? It's going to be massive, like what Marty is saying. But I've been on Clubhouse, which is a new buzz podcast audio platform, and I've been pitching my on Passive subtly over there. But it started last year And as a unicorn company, but today, which is just 1 year, it's valued at $4 billion. So imagine that's only one platform. And Passive has got 20 to 50 products and platforms. So just imagine what Passive can do for you. No brainer. Come in if you're a guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you. And I heard about Clubhouse a while back, probably last year sometime, when people were getting disgruntled with Facebook. They wanted to jump ship. They wanted to go somewhere else. Clubhouse, I've heard people go over, come back. Some people are used to just the same sort of safety, or all their friends didn't go over. But remember, in ONET, we're starting with 1 million founders. We're starting with 1 million customers, and we're all going to know each other, and we're going to want to bring our friends, and they're going to want to come over to ONET because we're all there. Because their friends are going to be there. And because it's going to be an outrageously amazing platform as well. So thank you, Tina. Thank you for popping in today. We always enjoy seeing and hearing you, and also for your support always. So I'd like to take it over to Chris Johnson, our Leadership Council from the US, Michigan. Chris, I'd love you to share with our people here today who are viewing this about your angels, but anything else that you'd like to say as well. But please share with them what that, on passive angels means, please.
Absolutely. Most of you, I think everyone on here is a founder. I'm not real sure about it, but if you're not, welcome if you are a guest. What Narelle is asking me to talk about and share with is Ash Mafara, myself, Peter Shore, a guy named Jeff. I don't know if you've ever met him, and Joyce. You guys know all Joyce Hicks. He is coming to Michigan here. Could be in the next couple of weeks to a month. And we're going to sit down, and his thing is he wants to get rid of, he found out how many homelessness we have in Michigan. And a lot of them are vets. Okay. What does Ash want to do? Your typical CEOs will say, hey man, how can we make money off this? No, you know what he said? We're going to fix it. What do you mean we're going to fix it? He says, we're going to cure homelessness, and we're going to start in Michigan. And I said, I like that. I like that. He wants to fix. He doesn't want to fix it. He wants to get rid of it. Now, there's so much wealth in this world. And Ash Mafara is saying to all of us for a very long time, we have all the resources in the world, and we have people starving, going to bed hungry, no water, no homes. In America, we have homeless people, which to me is unheard of. It's unheard of, but we all know what happens no matter where you live. I believe in every country is the same way. So guess what we're going to do? He's going to come down here. We're going to have some meetings. We're going to kind of put a plan together how to fix homelessness in Michigan. And then once we get that together and it's stronghold, we're going to take it out to the world. And that's where I call the impassive angels come in. I've been collecting names for a couple months now from everywhere in the world, no matter where you are, what state, what country, and making them angels because they want to help in their country, in their state, get rid of homelessness. And I've compiled a pretty big list now. They got coming every single day. And what's going to happen is once we get that, and Ash doesn't know nothing about, he might know now, but he knows nothing that I did this. And when the plan is in action in Michigan, guess what? The angels are going to be flying all over the world, breaking it down and getting rid of homelessness. That's just the start. Passive angels, I think, are going to be amazing people, which they already are. Already donated, and it's going to be the hardest job that you've ever had in your life, but it's going to be the most rewarding. I say that all the time. Not just a week ago, I remember it was another sleepless night for me. I think I couldn't fall asleep. I got up like 4 a.m. I was trying to sleep. I can't sleep. I'm just going to get up. And I ran to Tim Hortons, real easy for us to do, to grab a coffee. And there was a guy digging out of the garbage, drove around, called him over there. And this is within a mile of my house. All right. A mile from my house, which I don't live in a horrible neighborhood. Do I live in a multi-billion-dollar neighborhood? No, I'm an average dude. I'm an average guy. And I got homelessness all around me. All right. Needless to say, I helped the guy out for that moment. All right. Pass it along to him. There's something new coming. Now, those are the people that I'm looking for. Believe it or not, those are the real angels, because those people are the ones that are already in contact with other people that live on the streets. So we're going to get in there and we're going to find those people. Marty DeGarmo did an excellent talk about it about a week ago, about finding those people that are already doing it or already living it. We have founders, believe it or not, in this family who were homeless at one time in their life. They know the struggle, jumped right aboard on the angels list. And with their expertise, it's going to help out. Do I think we can get rid of homelessness? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. Do I think I can come to where Cedric lives, where he was telling me in his state? And I showed him a video. And what it was a bunch of drug addicted or mental cases living on a street, which we walk right by every day. Watch people just walk right by them. We've ignored them for years. You know, but I bet you wouldn't ignore them if it was one of your kids. All right. Yeah, those people might be drug addicted. They might be mental. People forgot about them. We can't afford to forget about people like that anymore. And I'm a firm believer is I do not want to walk over anybody, and I want to help them out. And I know there's a lot of people in this world. I mean, they're living in tents, passed out on a wall. The snow is coming. All right. In the northern states. And those people still are in the same position, whether it's cold, hot, raining. All right. And what do? We walk right by them. You know, giving them 10 or 20 bucks, to be honest, really doesn't do them any good. But grabbing them by the hand and say, I got a better way for you. You know, and people, be honest, people are going to want to do it. There's going to be struggles in that. We're going to need social workers, psychiatrists. We're going to need places to let these people go to get rehabilitated, to get out of that bad scene they're in. There's people on the street who really are just mentally, there's something wrong with them, but maybe their family says, let them go. I ain't letting no one go. I'm tired of it. All right. If some of you that have young kids and you're walking, maybe you go to the city and even in the suburbs lately, how do you explain to your kid that? Daddy, why is that man laying on the ground on the tree? You know, tell your kid the truth. We're going to fix that, son. We're going to fix that, daughter. We don't ever want anyone to live like that, period. All right. When I found that video, and Cedric, I found that on TikTok, believe it or not. One of my favorite things to do is between the hours of 1 and 5 in the morning as I watch TikTok videos, not for the craziness, but some of the things that they show on there, like the states and the countries that have homelessness, mental people walking around, all right, mentally disturbed people, kids that basically have potato sacks on them for clothes. They're bone thin, but their bellies are blown out because they haven't eaten nothing. They don't drink clear. Sherry was doing a great live tonight. Sherry Dursaway talking about, you know, kids, the water that they drink is so contaminated, so full of bacteria. There's no way this world should be like this anywhere. Not in the United States, not in Africa, not in Australia, not in New Zealand, but it is. You all seen it. And it's going to be up to us to change it. We finally have someone and a company, which is your company, and a guy who brought us on to this to say, hey, enough's enough. You know, when I came into this company, I didn't see nothing that I see on the TV today of the hate and this going on in this world. I see many colors on here, every Zoom I get on. And that's the beautiful thing. It doesn't matter. That's the greatest thing. I tell people, well, if you're one of those people, I don't want you. That's the honest truth. I want people that are willing to open their minds instead of hating everyone all the time because that guy said that. So I'm going to, Cedric Flowers punched me in the nose. So I should hate every person that's black, right? That's not how we're supposed to operate. If Cedric punched me in the nose, guess what? I'd probably be mad at Cedric. But the world today is a lot different. Since I became an impassive, I don't see that hate. I see nothing but people smiling and happy because they know what's coming. But I also seen some people open their hearts up and say, man, I can really make a difference here. All right. For doing nothing, you're going to make a difference. How many people could say that today? Usually, what's in it for me? All right. I don't want what's in it for me people. I want someone that's willing to, number one, come in and believe in a passive. It's not about getting to that successful point. It is at first. We all know that. We're all excited about that. It's about when all that comes at you and you fulfilled all what you wanted to do and you start open, but I reverse it. I say you can help out now, and it can be so small, just helping one person out. I'm going to use Mimi for a good example. I was amazed, 32 grand to help out a child. All right. Now I want you to think about how many kids are out there that are like Mimi, that don't have those resources, that don't have someone like Narelle out there trying to help them. But now you got Obless that came along. Obless is going to fix so many things. And I tell Marty this every single day. You know, I'm passive, I think is already amazing. But I think on a daily basis, when we launch, I think a couple weeks after we launch, I think Obless, I'm passive Obless, and the Angels are going to be on every news channel because we're going to be doing stuff, whether it's saving trees, which is great, but I really want to get those kids in every country, you know, water, food, shelter. You know, there's amazing things that people can do. Papua New Guinea is one of my most exciting things I think I'm going to be part of, because basically I'm going to be part of restructuring a country that's needed it for years, where poor people have died because they can't get to a facility or they can't get an airplane in there because it rained too much. We're going to build them a runway. We're going to build them an airport. We're going to get them planes. We're going to get them hospitals. I think it was Mary. I know Viola said something phenomenal yesterday. Mary, very smart, intelligent lady from Papua New Guinea. She said, I think we can put trains. You darn right we can put trains. We did it in America. We blew up mountains to make roads and railways. We can do it in Papua New Guinea. The problem is, back then, Papua New Guinea didn't have the resources. Guess what, guys? We got the resources now. We're going to have the resources. And that's one country. Imagine in 2-3 years' time, all these places that have been struggling for years because they just didn't have the funding. We're going to change that. That's why I ask for angels in every single part of the world, because every one of you lives somewhere, and every one of you can walk out your front door, maybe drive 2 miles down away from your house and see something that's totally wrong that shouldn't be happening, like someone living under a bridge. So I want you to think about that. Passive is the greatest thing you're ever going to come across of. Yes, it's going to make you successful, but don't be a prude. I don't like prudes. I don't like uppity people. I'm going to tell you straight out. That's not been me. It's never been me. I love people no matter who they are, and because they care about people. That's the honest to God truth. I haven't seen any uppity people and I'm passive. And if I did, I'd tell them, that's not what we do. We don't operate like that. We operate, Ash Bafar's, I'm telling you, he wants us to be successful, but his main goal is he wanted to change our hearts, how we look at things differently. That's the truth. And I'm talking way too much, Narelle. I'm sorry, but it's coming, guys. Don't forget about people. Just don't forget about people, period.
And thank you, Chris. You know, you have a heart of gold, and you know, the reason why this happens is because people like you step up and say, hey, I want to make a difference. You know, we can all make a little difference in our area, and I know on some it says, you know, one person can make a difference, but imagine 1 million founders making that difference, how quicker it's going to happen. I just want to share a quick story. A couple of years ago, when one of my daughters was young, there was a gentleman at the pool who had no legs. And she said, Mummy, you know, what's wrong with him? What happened? Now, rather than turn away and say to my child, hey, don't worry about it, don't go there, sort of thing, I actually went up to the gentleman and I said, could you please explain to my daughter what happened and how did you lose your legs? Because what happens is, and you talk about the homeless, and that is, people walk past them every day, but do we say hello? Do we actually treat them like a human being? You know, part of the failure, I suppose, of why people are there is people forgot to care. Like you said, you know, people don't show the love. They just walk past them because it's not their problem. And yes, it's not our problem. We didn't put these people into that situation, but something happened in their lives. right? Just as it's happened in ours. And maybe we did have support. Maybe we had family, maybe we had a close friend that picked us up down there, you know, rock bottom, because I'm sure every single one of you have been there. I've been there a few times myself. And if it wasn't for the support, or if it wasn't for that social worker or people like that to pick me up, then where would I be today? You know, you have to ask yourself, because it's not necessarily there doing or wanting to do. Yes, there are people who love living on the street. There are, you know, a very small percentage who want to be there, but the most of them don't. And it's circumstances, you know, so it's about saying, hey, how are you? You know, treating them like a human being, you know, saying, what do you need? And going back to Marty's video from a week or so ago that Chris was speaking about, we speak about, I was overwhelmed. How am I going to help all of these people? You know, how am I going to help the homeless or any of those? How am I going to do it? But like Marty said, there's people already on the ground who are doing it because they have a passion, because they have a want to help other people. That's who we help. We take those, go to those people, sit down, have a conversation with these people and say, what is it do you need to help the homeless? Like we would help Chris, you know, and be those on passive angels. But for anything else that we might want to help, you know, whether it's, what do they call them? You know, the like Salvation Army or people like that who go out onto the streets, they know what people need. They know what's needed in their community. And I think that's a big deal, you know, where people think, you know, it gets a little bit overwhelming. How are we going to help everybody? But each one of us has a particular thing in our area, in our community, where we can start and we can go and talk to those people who are already on the ground, those with soup kitchens or, you know, blankets or clothing or fresh water. There's so many things that we can help in our community, and from there that will help those people who can help other people, you know, so it grows from there. So thank you, Chris. I know your heart, and I know you have such passion for that. We all know that our CEO Ash Mafara has the biggest heart, and that's why it's been handed down from him. And you know what, there is that saying, bringing balance back to humanity. Okay, that is huge when you think about that balance. Not the greedy, not the 3% making all the money and got their gold cars and gold thrones and 28 bedroom houses. It's bringing balance back to humanity. So thank you for listening to me. I'm just wondering if there's any other questions today, or if anyone would like to share. We try and stay to an hour. However, you know, we're here for as long as you'd like to be. I know Viola is sitting up like she'd like to say something.
Can I just, before we go to Viola,
Yes,
or we can go to Viola and then I can come back to what I want to share. Is that okay?
Yeah. No, you can share now if you like.
Okay, thank you. This is just a poem. I don't know if it's called a poem, but my granddaughter, who's 10, she actually won at school when she was 10 years old, and she put this together. She was quite shy, so she didn't really want to do it, but I'm just going to share with you. It's very quick, so I'm just going to share screen, and just let me know when you can see this. Share. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's called People in Poverty Need Help. Just remember, she's 10 years old, so I thought she'd done very well. Can you see good?
Yes.
Perfect, Narelle or Yvonne.
Okay, now, why is this not going? No, sorry, let me just go and get the video. How do I get back here? Give me a second. I might have just got the wrong one.
Yvonne is a perfect person to say, like me, we're not tech savvy. And guess what?
We're not.
Very successful and passive.
Yeah, it should come up. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had it ready, but people in poverty. Let me just forward it a little bit. Hopefully I can.
It's still showing for the PowerPoint at the moment, Yvonne.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, there we are. That's the.
Okay, I really want her to say it. I wanted it. It was a video that we actually made. Maybe I can find it. Let's go back to
We'll
Viola.
hop over to Viola, and then
Thank
if you
you.
want to bring it up, we can take just if you just stop sharing screen.
There
Thank you. Hi, Viola. I know that you sat up there before, like you were really keen on what Chris was saying, and I'd just like to bring you out so that you can share with us a little bit about what's happening in your part of the world. Thank you, Viola.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good day. Good day. Good night. Those of you are out your night and our afternoon. Thank you, Narelle and Yvonne. I came in late because I've been working 10 days straight, and sometimes I get in, sometimes I sleep in. So I just woke up and I said, I'll see what was on. So I asked Chris and said, send me the link so that I can go in. Yeah, thank you, Chris. He's always helping out. His heart. Yeah, thanks to all the leadership council, always encouraging, always there to bring information and seeing how far we've come through. And yeah, yesterday I didn't want to share, but I just shared where I have come from. And to this day, once, I had, like Chris said, I always say if I am a millionaire person, I would have somebody. Seeing people, on the streets, and even going home, I always ask myself, God, if I was a millionaire, I would help people. And this on passive as every individual, it's going to change each individual's life. And I thank you for every leader that comes in and encourage and bless each individual. And I thank God every day that when I put food on the table, I remember those that have nothing to eat. And I drink water, remember those that have no water to drink. People don't have roof over their heads. I came to Australia where I am blessed. Taking back home, it's not bad. I raised and grew up sleeping on the mat with no light. And to have a home on my own, it's a blessing from God. And it is, if we have each individual have this heart, we'll be able to have millions around the world and see them have proper homes, clean water to drink, put shoes on their feet. I remember my childhood. I had a shirt that torn for 1 year, but I waited until I finished school. And it is, I look back, it's a testimony to where I am today. It's a blessing from God. And I want to say thank you to every one of you, that you will bless those who have nothing. And I thank you for Narelle and Yvonne for putting up this webinar for Australia. I can't say hello to the next, I can say smile and say hello to the next door neighbor in Australia. But I can say hello, but I can't really get in there and share what I have, on passive. Australia is like, you are on your own. We just go about each day. And I thank you for you guys putting this out there and, encouraging people to get in. I know it's a blessed country, like Naral said, but there are many out there who still on the street, the indigenous people of this land, just on the streets every day begging. And it is overwhelming.
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you.
Viola, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for
And
having
thank
me.
you for sharing from your heart. We do understand, that there is so much needed in our world, whether it be from Papua New Guinea, Uganda into Africa. There are many, Haiti, so many places that need our help and our love. And we appreciate you. And you're right, Australia is a very blessed country. They don't know what they're missing out on because they think that the government will pop them up for the rest of their lives. But one day they'll see, and they will come. It's okay, because they'll come as either customers or resellers. So they will have the opportunity still to be a part of On Passive. So thank you for sharing from your heart today. We love you dearly, and we thank you so much for your support. And all of our friends from Papua New Guinea, we appreciate and love them all. So it is going to change the country of Papua New Guinea and many, many countries. So thank you. We love you. Okay, we had a couple of more hands up, and then I think we'll finish off after that. So Habiton International, I'm not quite sure who you are or where you're coming in from, but your hand is up if you'd like to open up your mic, please, and share with us.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to share my views and my project with you. Chris, you really captured my attention. Not to undermine anybody else, but Chris, your vision, your passion is very, very inspiring. And I'm gonna share with you, I'm in Pennsylvania, and I have a similar passion to do something to take Haiti out of the situation that they are. I know it's not an easy task for one small group to do, but the most important thing, once someone has a vision, the rest could be history, because it says it needs a spike, a little sparkle to start a fire. You don't need an ocean of fire to start a fire. So the fire that is within you, Chris, don't let it die, keep it up. I can share with you guys shortly what we are trying to do for Haiti. Number one, since 1986, Haiti used to have the best education system in the world. When United States had shortage of staff, guess where they would take these people? In Haiti, because they had a great education system. Unfortunately, it dismantled since 1986. So 30 years, instead of the country going better, unfortunately, it's going worse. And there's a great leader most of you might know of. His name was Nelson Mandela. He said something in his biography that is very profound. He said, education is the most powerful weapon one can utilize to dismantle a country without even using weapons. And it is indeed, that's exactly what they did to Haiti. Dismantle their education, take away their resources, take away all their knowledge. We're not here to point fingers, but I want merely want to share a little bit what inspired my little group. And I've been a member of this On Passive 2019 when they only had 62,000 members. So to hear that they have over 1 million now, it really, really made me happy to see that, okay, I was one of the early founders before they were even 65,000. So our plan is to start an education system that have never been seen before in Haiti. We plan on partnering with the government and outsourcing professors, grad students from around the world to really re-educate these people, because through education, once you have education, you have knowledge, you have basic needs. That's all the people want. They're not looking to be millionaires. They're not looking for a handout. They just need someone to give them that little push, that little guidance. Because mind you, there are millions of young people. I was in Haiti recently. There are millions of young people sitting around doing nothing, barely nothing. Every day they wake up and sitting there, no jobs, no school. Those that could try to go to school, the schools are shut down because of the insecurity that exists around the country. So it's really critical. And I'm sure it's not only in Haiti. For instance, we're here in the United States, who's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, the most powerful country in the world. And yet we have a large number of poverty. In Los Angeles, if you go to Skid Row, it's sad to see how in Los Angeles, people are living with wealth surpassing amount of money. They have money to throw around, but yet there are people who cannot even to afford one meal of the day. Is this what humanity should be about? I don't think so. So I'm very pleased and honored to be part of this organization, to be with you guys. Chris, I would love to stay in contact with you. On the chat room, I put my email there. I sent you a note. I wish we could stay in contact. Perhaps we can share ideas and help one another so we can expand our vision. Once again, thanks again for this opportunity. My name is Eli Matthew. I'm the founder and CEO of this organization, and also Harvard International University, which will be the first Ivy League school in the Caribbean region, not only in Haiti, but in the Caribbean region.
Thank you, Eli. Such an amazing share, and thank you so much. And isn't it amazing? We can go to different webinars, and sometimes we're just in the right place at the right time to actually meet the people that we want to share with and be a part of something greater than just what we're doing ourselves. And I'm sure that Chris will be an absolute amazing support for you, Eli. So do stay in contact with Chris for sure. So thank you very much for sharing with us today. Key, I noticed that you have your hand up. If you would just like to take a couple of minutes, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilla. Yeah, I just wanted to share a photo with you guys real quick. And just to reflect on what Ash is doing. Ash is on a road trip with his family. Ash has been working for us for 3 years. This is a family photo, our family vehicle. I still have this car. It's actually the car that I was brought home from the hospital in, but that's me, my mom and dad, and my brother. And I'm the littlest one next to my father. So my brother would be Omar. And I think what Ash is doing, he's creating memories with his family, and his children are going to remember this for the rest of their lives. I mean, I'm 60 years old, and I can remember some of these trips. Some of my first memories are with this car traveling around Germany. I can remember the first time I ever went 100 miles an hour. I was this little kid. My dad was a fighter pilot in the Air Force, so 100 miles an hour to him was slow. And he was like, okay, boys, we just hit 100. And, you know, this is what Ash is doing right now. Ash is making memories with his 2 boys and his wife, and his boys are going to cherish these memories that he's making now. And he's going to include all of us and on passive in that. So I just wanted to share, I was Omar. Well, I'm not sure how old Omar is, or the smallest child, but I have memories of this, of what Ash is doing, and it's going to stick with his children forever, traveling across the United States. And I just wanted to share that. And Chris, I'll be in touch with you as well, buddy. But thank y'all.
Yeah, I think that's really important that you shared that too, Key. You know, we, you know, if you look back, and I think as we get older, because I turned 60 this year as well, and you look back and you look at the happy memories. You know, we've all been through sadness, but what keeps us going is the memories of happiness, you know, whether it be just spending some time with family. I have 5 sisters, love them dearly. We have the best times, but we made it from about 9 years ago now, where we actually get to spend 5 or 6 days together just as sisters, to love on each other, to share with each other, to eat, to laugh, to pray, and things like that. So we do that because they're memories that we can look back on as we get older and really share in that. But, you know, have a look, go back. If you're feeling sad, go back to happy times in your childhood where you were laughing and smiling and, you know, doing things like that. So I think Ash's eldest boy, Omar, he's an amazing genius anyway, as well as his dad. But, you know, those memories he will be able to share, even if the youngest one doesn't, you know, remember just yet. I'm sure Omar will never let him forget when we did this, when we did that. So they are exciting times. So Yvonne, do you have, I know Yvonne was unable to bring up that video today. It really is amazing of what her granddaughter did. I have seen it, and it truly is for a 10-year-old to show such heart and passion within this video. We won't see it now, but I'm sure that Yvonne, you know, we'd love for you to share it next time on our Thursday night, or if you want to share it individually, if anybody would like to see that, I'm sure Yvonne would love to send it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I will do. I just don't know what's happened, but Narelle knows what's happening to my laptop lately. It has gone crazy. Everything's gone missing.
It has a mind of its own, and
has.
I'm not putting myself or Yvonne down or anyone else here. Please don't take it to heart, but I'm sure that her computer is blonde. Okay.
I tell you what, honestly, I'm not, like I say, I'm not stupid, but it is causing me a bit of chaos. But just before we go, I do want to mention that we are going to, in Perth, where I live in WA, Western Australia, are going to hold our first meetup. And so if you've got any friends, if you've got any guests or anyone, but also On Passive founders, we're going to, on the 30th, meet up in Perth, and I will put the info there. So if you want to know any more information, please get hold of us. And we're going to meet up with people. I was speaking to someone last night, gone midnight, and he's been in since there was 4,000 people. And we got in contact last night, and he lives 20 minutes from me, and I never knew. I just reached out in one of the chats and spoke to him, and it's just so good. So we're going to catch up, and we're going to meet everybody in WA anyway. That's the start. So,
and we will make sure that we will make sure that that's sort of a Zoom for anybody else in Australia who'd like to sort of you know, hook up and watch, because Australia is so big, you know, like I said before, for me to get to that, they won't let me in across the border from Queensland anyway, because I have to go to New South Wales to get there. However, if I was, it's a 2-hour flight or an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4 for me to get to Brisbane. And then from Brisbane to Perth is about another 6 hours. So 5.5 to 6 hours. So it's just out of the question, because flights in Australia are expensive, but we will. But I'll be there loving and supporting Yvonne, because she's doing an amazing job. And there seems to be a lot of founders on that side of the country. We do have them on our side, but we're so spread out. You know, there's my sister and I in this one town of, say, 150,000. So we meet up regularly, my sister and I. But thank you, Yvonne. It really is important. And as we've seen from many of those, but particularly with Julie, Sherry, that are, you know, doing these meetups, Judy Miller, Pam Turner, you know, it really is amazing when you meet somebody in person, how impactful that can be, you know, because you see them all online and you feel like you've known everybody, and then all of a sudden you see them in person, it becomes real. So I think it's really important for our founders here in Australia, and I'm sure if there's any meetups in New Zealand that will be arranged. So, and particularly moving forward as well. So Cedric, you have a couple of last words to say?
Yeah, I have so much stuff go through my mind doing these webinars, but I want to tell Chris, which we all know, that angel list is steady growing. So, you know, we'll have no problem setting this world as the guy Muhammad say, on fire. That's all I had to say.
Thank you,
And
guys.
Eli, I sent you an email. I also sent you my email also, Eli, if you're still out there.
Yes, I am. I am.
Thank you, Chris.
Matter of fact, I'm writing you an email as I speak.
All right.
Thank you.
buddy. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Cedric, that whoever does that on fire, 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 fire. I mean, that is incredible. That just sets you on fire. Anybody
That's
has
Muhammad Kamal.
Yeah,
There you go.
Muhammad, yeah,
Kamal.
yeah. I didn't know his
Okay,
last name.
well,
Right.
yeah, they just go and watch it. Honestly, if you're having a bit of an off day or a down day, go and watch that. I think it's on Chris's Facebook wall. So, but yeah, we want to thank everybody for being here this evening in America, from America, our friends there, Leadership Council. Marty, thank you for joining us this evening. Your time, I know it's getting late. We want to thank everybody else for coming in. Sherry, lovely to see you. Viola, I won't call out all your names, otherwise I'll be here for the next 10 minutes. But you know who you are, Cedric, thank you. We really appreciate it. Australia does need your love and support. We stand up every week, every day, every minute of every hour. Yvonne and I are on Passive Aussie Girls, just getting it out there. Okay, so Thursday night will be our next webinar presentation, and I will be home, so that will be great. We have it at different hours because Australia's just now gone into daylight savings time. So we have Western Australia, Northern Territory, South Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and they all seem to have their own time. So if you want to know, please pop over to the like page, which we said, which is on Passive Aussie Girls and a Kiwi Guy. We keep you updated there with the upcoming webinars. For the Americans or EST time, it will be 5 a.m. EST time, which runs at about 7 p.m. for us here in Australia. And like I said, there are a few different times, but check it out. We put it up there. The link is always the same. Copy the link, keep it somewhere safe. You know, contact Yvonne or myself, or even Kenton if you're calling in from New Zealand. We will be able to share that information. If you know people in Australia and New Zealand, please send them along. Don't do the work. Don't try and explain it. It's too hard, you know, to actually give them enough for them to go away with the right information, or enough information for them to make that decision. So like I said, we do appreciate you all coming today. I will end the recording now.
Can I just say thank you to Oko Theory? Thank you so much for sharing.